it's an Earth Day collaboration, hosted by Valerie at Our Homeschool Castle. And it's talking about being more sustainable with kids and things like that. And I like Valerie. I like Our Homeschool Castle. She's a special needs mum. She does a lot of upcycling. She's got amazing style, like vintage type style, and she does a lot of art type stuff on her channel. So I do enjoy her channel. So I was glad to be asked. Oh, sorry. I'm going to link Valerie's channel, Our Homeschool Castle, in the description box below, and the playlist will be on her channel. But I'm also going to put the playlist in the comments, because I'll have put this on YouTube as premiere before I even get the playlist. So I'll have to put the playlist in the comments. But if you can't find it or my link doesn't work, go to her channel, because it'll be on there if you want to know what all the other families say about sustainable living with kids. Some of the things I'm going to say, because I'm just going to say how we try to live more sustainably. I don't consider us a large family. I'm pregnant with number 5, but other people seem to think we're a large family, so I'm going to own that tag. I'm going to accept it and own it, even though I don't think 5's a lot of kids, but whatever. So I'm just going to tell you how we try to live more sustainably as a large family. People always go, oh, you know, large families are ruining the planet, the overpopulation debate and all that. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if you've got 17 kids or 1 kid. If you're not teaching them to live sustainably, then it's not about how many kids you have, it's how you live. I think we are live a lot more sustainably than a couple of families I know that have 1 or 2 kids. And I'll tell you what we do. Some of these things are going to be, you're going to think they're dead obvious, but I think a lot to do with living kindness to the earth is dead obvious. I don't know why we're all so stupid about it. And also, the things I'm going to say, I know they're not suitable for everybody, and I know that it doesn't matter what scale you do things on, even if you just do a little bit. The world doesn't need a few people to live perfectly. The world needs everybody. It doesn't need you to live perfectly sustainably. The world needs everybody to live imperfectly sustainably. If everybody did just a couple of things, you don't have to take over your life. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to do it on a grand scale. But this is what we do. First off, because we're considered a large family, we're entitled to a big bin. You know, rubbish bin. A supersized rubbish bin. And I quite fancy getting one. But they've stopped giving families a massive bin. Now they give you 2 bins. So we'd have had 2 green bins, which is for the rubbish, and 2 black bins, which is for the recycling. That's 4 bins. That's a lot of bins. I don't want 4 bins in my garden. So I thought, well, if I don't want 4 bins, I'm just going to have to condense everything and make sure it fits into 2 bins. 1 green bin for rubbish, 1 green bin for black bin for recycling. So basically I've got a half what I'm entitled in rubbish, if you know what I mean. So we're using the same bin that a household with 1 person would be using. We're not using, the 4 bins that you get for a large family. So I was thinking, how am I going to do that then? So I recycle everything I can. Everything I can recycle goes in that recycling bin, so it doesn't go in the green bin. We now have a composter, because you can imagine with a large family the amount of veg peelings and apple cores and random scrap bits of paper and all that we get is immense, and it all goes in the composter and it rots down, and that saves me a massive space in the bin. Cloth nappies. I don't do this perfectly. When I have a baby, because I'm pregnant at the minute, I use cloth nappies and disposables. I use a disposable at bedtime because the Aldi disposables are really good, and I want to dry baby at bedtime because I want to go to sleep. And if we're out and about on a long journey, I'll use disposables. But if we're around the house or out in the vicinity near the house, they'll use cloth nappies. Now, apart from the fact cloth nappies are better for the environment because of how long it takes for a disposable nappy to rot down, and it saves me money, saves me bin space. So that's another thing about, I'm going off track now, I meant to talk about bins. That's another thing about living more sustainably. Back in the old days, people used reusable stuff, and they were all poor. They didn't have the money to go out and buy a lot of plastic crap that they didn't need, even if plastic had been available, which it wasn't. And a lot of the things you do to be more sustainable save you money. I don't get why folk don't do it. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? If it saves you money. And that's the other thing about large families. We haven't got the money to waste. We do go to the charity shops and buy pre-owned toys and pre-owned clothes, which is better for the planet, and it saves me money. Same as the cloth nappies, they can be passed down, they're washed. Same with clothes get handed down per child, toys get handed down per child, shoes sometimes if they're not trashed. We haven't got the money for that. So just live like, my husband's a master budgeter anyway, just live like you're on a budget, even if you're not. Think, do I need this? And if you don't need it, don't bloody buy it. So I'm swearing now because it's a hot topic. I know this one isn't for everybody, but we haven't got a car. I know people who have got 2 cars and they go, we absolutely need the second car, we absolutely need that second car, and they don't. But that's their decision. But we haven't got a car, and I know that's not for everyone, but listen, if you have got a car, think, do I need to drive to this place, or can I walk it? I know people who drive their car to take their kids to the school, and the school's 2 streets away from where they live, literally 2 streets away, or they drive their car to the co-op, and that's 2 streets away. It's 2 streets away, and it takes them longer than someone who's walking, because they've got to do all the junctions and stuff, and the traffic lights and stuff. And and again, money, you're spending diesel on going somewhere you could have walked in 5 minutes. I don't get it. So if you have got a car, just think, do I need to drive 2 streets? When Pudge went to Beavers, one of the Beaver leaders, she lived on the next street. I'm not exaggerating. She lived on the next street. That's her street, and Beavers was at the top of the street. And she used to drive. And why would you unnecessarily spend that money on diesel when you don't need to? I don't get it. Oh, and the other thing is, so if you have got a car, and you know, if you can walk there, that's exercise. You then haven't got to spend money on diesel again to drive you to a gym to exercise, because you've been walking places. Let me think of another one. Recycle things, and I don't just mean, you know, put them in the recycle bin. I go on allotment, and at the minute all my windowsills are full of seedlings, and I haven't bought a single plant pot. They're all old milk jugs, old milk bottles, or old pop bottles or squash bottles with the where I've cut them in half, put the seedling in the middle. I'll show you. Put the seedling in the middle. And then use the top as a greenhouse. And I save them, I reuse them year after year after year. I use butter tubs and I'm looking what's in the window. Noodle pots. Recycle. Same as we homeschool, and we haven't, a lot of my books are by pre-owned, which is again better for the planet. But I haven't bought paper in years, because I know somebody who works somewhere, and they put packs and packs of paper like that in the skip to be binned. And there's nothing wrong with the paper. A lot of it has no marks on it at all. They bought too much, which I don't get again, because you'd save it, wouldn't you, and save the money. Or it's like got a printer error on it, like it's totally plain, but on one side there's like the odd letter or the odd dash or whatever, or it's it just says page 2 or 3 on it at the bottom somewhere. And they were going to bin it. The person who works at that place have had all sorts like that skip: wool, cotton, paper, with folders she's given me, because her workplace has just chucked it in the bin. And her workplace is going for a zero waste award from the Queen. It's like, does the Queen know that she's chucking all this stuff away? Don't think she does if you're after this award. It's mental. Same as, these are the obvious ones. Don't put your television or your PlayStation, whatever, on rest mode or standby. Still using electric, and you're paying for that electric. Turn it off. If you're not in a room, turn the light off. Saves all these little, every little helps, I tell you. And I tell you another thing. I read somewhere, or did I see it on telly? I can't remember. Read somewhere. I say read somewhere. Makes me sound more intelligent. Read somewhere that 70% of food waste is from people's houses and chucking it away. And I was like, who chucks the food away? Who chucks the food away? Buy what you need, use it. And if you've got random bits in the fridge, try and make something with that. That's another way when, you know, people say, oh, large families are bad for the planet. I've got 4 kids. I haven't got the money to be chucking food away. I buy food and we use it. And to me, that's an obvious one and all. Growing your own food. Now, not everyone's got an allotment, not everyone's got a garden, not everyone's particularly green-fingered. You can do it on a really small scale. You could just have a couple of pots in the windowsill that grow lettuce. And when you grow a lettuce, if you cut the leaves off, they'll grow back at least 15 times before you have to get rid of it and compost the plant. And even if you just grow a couple of things, that's one less thing that's had to go from the farm in a lorry to the shop, in a lorry to the factory to be washed with chlorine or whatever, to be put in another lorry to get to the warehouse, to be put in another lorry to get to the shop. All that all them gas and traffic emissions. It's just, if everybody did a little bit. What else? Now, I do. At Christmas and birthdays, I do buy a lot of plastic tat because I can't afford like wooden toys and stuff like that. So I get it, but just try and limit your visits to places like Poundland and B&M and Home Bargains and stuff where it's all plastic stuff. You don't have to go every week. What else? I'm trying to think. There was one more thing, I can't think what it was. Oh, this is my last thing, promise, and I'll go. But I'll probably think some other things in a minute. But it's all common sense. Just think, instead of thinking save the earth, think how can I save money, and I promise a lot of the things will be good for the earth, I promise. I mean, we've got chickens. I mean, I don't want to use that as an example because not everybody could just go get chickens, but we get eggs. That's 4 less battery hens that I'm buying eggs from. You know what I mean? And I use the compost. What was I saying? Oh yeah, last thing, sorry. If you buy something, doesn't matter what it is, and you don't like it, I mean, obviously if it's knackered it's different, but if you just don't like it or you don't need it anymore, give it to the charity shop or go on one of them free cycle sites and give it away. My mother-in-law is terrible. She's terrible. It winds me up because I come from a family that didn't waste nothing. Because my granddad was one of 24 kids and he was very poor. And he grew up into a man who didn't waste anything. He used to upcycle everything. Before the term upcycle was even invented, he made a greenhouse out of bits of nothing. He was an excellent man. He made us a swimming pool out of bin bags once. It was amazing. But my mother-in-law, she gets bored and she buys stuff and then she don't want it and she takes it to the tip. She gets my brother-in-law to take it to the tip, and it's like, if you didn't want that, why didn't you get it to a charity shop? And then some family that can't afford that new can have it. It's like she had the dining room table business. She bought a dining room table, got it in the house, decided it was too tall or something, skip. Then she got another dining room table, didn't like it, skip. Then she bought another one, so that's two dining room tables that were brand new that she took to skip. And she did the same with the bed. We went round once and there was a brand new mattress just dumped in the yard, and she was waiting for my brother-in-law's taking to skip for her. And I was saying to my husband, what? I'm glad she's got the money to go and that. But you know what I mean? Apart from the waste of money, why would you do that? If you don't want something, just give it away or give it to the charity shop unless you can sell it. When I was pregnant with Bod, my third baby, this woman gave me this white pram. It was gorgeous. It's white pram, and because she didn't need it anymore, and she says, "Oh, if I don't give it you, I'll just take it to Skip." And I couldn't believe it because it was such a gorgeous pram. But I was so grateful as well. So just give it away. Someone will be grateful. And you haven't took it to the Skip, and it's not been bad for the environment, and it's been given a new lease of life and all that lot. I'm going to go now because I've been on my soapbox a bit. I was about to say I'm not always this ranty, but I am quite ranty. So if you're new here from the playlist and you're thinking of subscribing, just be warned, I'm quite ranty. I do homeschool and family vlogs, and I'm just saying that to be helpful, because sometimes people subscribe off a collab like this, and then the next video I do, even though I've said I do homeschool and family vlogs, the next video I do will be homeschool family vlog, and they'll unsubscribe, and I'm like, what did you think I was going to upload? What kind of content did you think I was going to upload? Anyway, I'm going to go now, ranted at you. But yeah, just think, do I need this? And think, how can I save money? And I promise the answers will all be better for the environment. Don't even think like, oh, I've got to be perfect or a barefoot hippie and, you know, I've got to grind my own cereal every morning and stuff like that. You haven't. There must be little changes. Like say our ancestors didn't have the money for excess. That's why they lived kinder to the earth. So it's, you know, just think, how can I save money? Money, money, money.